the view from my new office. Try and get these trees over here on the edge. So I had these kids were here hunting today, and they asked me about the big pile of trees. Like, why are those trees piled up? They're like, well, why? And I said, well, you see where you're hunting, where you're seeing the deer and turkey and all this green, that's all food for the wildlife. And so, hey guys, welcome back. Today's training day on the high lifter. I'll show you a few things. I got the dirt cleaned out of the tracks. It's wet. It's been raining, so the ground is slimy and wet. But I'm just going to do some training. I got some brush piles I want to try to push first. Got some trees that I do want to push over to right up here by the house. But let me show you. One of the doors was wonky. It didn't work. They had a string on it. I'll show you what I did to at least cure it for now. Got all the tracks cleaned up, ready to roll. So this other door is going to basically be not functional. So this cover here, I basically took it off because it wasn't working. So at least now I can get at this lever. Will that drive me nuts? It might. We'll see. I can wedge it tighter, but at least now I can make it work. You see they had a string here. That's what they were holding with. So it's been a while. Alright, so here's my lever. I'm going to set up the camera. I was trying to find the float mode already, but man, I can't believe how fast the hydraulics are. I was trying to find float. One of our viewers has been running these machines. I got some emails saved from him on tips and tricks. Well, it's pretty simple. Forward, reverse. This is like hydrostatic, so make sure my bucket's up. Oh, that's it. You go, we're in reverse, and then the pedals. That's how you steer. Oops, I guess forward's opposite. I'll get this camera set up. Close the door. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a wedge in it. I hate rattles. And then my throttle's right here. I'm gonna try and push that pile of that big locust here has been on my hit list. I want to finish cleaning behind that cattle pond. We'll see what happens. I'll get a camera set up here. So it appears the high range works. See, here's the low button. And I would slow down. This is a clutch here. We'll put it in high. Take it off now. I'm going to clean this window off. We'll start with this view right here. Starting to warm up a little. Alright, like that Tom Cruise movie, that last Maverick, when they jump in that old plane, he's like, whoo! Alright, it's been a minute. Alright, give me a minute. I gotta turn the air on. It's gonna be an oven in here. Alright, got the air flowing, cool air coming. Here we go. Not yet.
All right, so it was great to finally get out on this thing. I only had a short window of opportunity. I was waiting for one of our turkey hunters to give him a ride for the afternoon. But anyways, I'm going to kind of go through the training on this, how getting used to the pedals and that. But you're going to see how much stuff I get done here in just today's video. Push over some trees, some big trees, just like butter. Actually tipped the tracks up behind me once, I think. Didn't almost bury it, but I kind of got it stuck. But I was very impressed so far with this thing. It is gonna be a game changer, no doubt. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Stick with it. It's a little bit longer, but it's I want you guys to kind of get a feel for what it's like learning this thing on the very first training day. And I got some stuff accomplished. Couldn't even touch this with either the two tractors or the excavator. Yeah, the air conditioning cost $3,000. Get that all back up and running. Some room in here. Nice, pushed it right over. That looks like a persimmon there, darn it. I might have to pick another spot. Alright, wrong way. Or I'm going to put them over here, get rid of this other big cedar. Man, just pushes it over like cotton candy. Persimmon right here. Maybe not. Down the hole. Alright, I'll go back and get that other pile and get them stuffed in there. Alright, radio works. I stuffed my glove in there to try to reduce that rattling. Seems to work.
be a game changer. If I can remember which way's which. Look if I can slide the seat back. Hopefully it can come back just a little more for leg room. Took me, hours and hours to develop that pile with the Mini. Let's go try to take that big locust down. I think the principles are all the same. It's just getting the awkwardness out. Alright, good news. I got the seat back. It's an air seat, so the air ride pump, I can pump it up, so now I got way more leg room, thank goodness for that. The seat adjusts back, so that's all good. If we can push this pile back, it goes down like this behind this pond, but I'll go nice and easy. So I don't fall off a cliff, literally. There's a big old rock right there. Right there. Get that rock so I don't run over. It's about that big. I think they got it. Yeah, there it is. Right here. Pushing them trees right over.
So when I made this pile with the excavator, this was as far as I could push them in. And as you're gonna see, it's kind of hard to tell, but there's some trees I'm gonna tip over and just keep pushing it in farther and farther with, you know, the power on this thing. And the traction is incredible. Even with the dull tracks, the traction is really fantastic.
Big cedar tree there I'm pushing back. There's a root ball I'm pushing right here. Do some damage with this baby. Now I don't want to roll it, that's for sure. See if I can get this stuff over here. Right here is where the dam goes like this. Get that one. The view from my new office. I think they'll get used to, but so I had these kids were here hunting today, and they asked me about the big pile of trees. Okay, and they're like, why are those trees piled up? And I said, well, a big machine came and piled them up. And they're like, well, why? And I said, well, you see where you're hunting, where you're seeing the deer and turkey and all this green, that's all food for the wildlife. And so sometimes you need to get rid of some trees for the wildlife. So she was like, oh, I get it. Cute kids, very well behaved. Try and get these trees over here on the edge. Right now this one is at the very base of the pond again. Now this is where that 4-in-1 would come in handy to pull them back, but I'll do whatever I can here. Oh, it's sinking a little bit. Yeah, sinking in the muck there. Alright, let's go back to the opposite side and try that big locust tree.